283 in the Schulbau calendar. The Julong Empire is a peaceful place where teachers teach, hunters hunt, cooks cook, and philosophers think about what to call it they do. The empire is ruled by Jin Huang, who is a kind and wise ruler, unless you happen to say otherwise, in which case he probably will not react as kindly. After many years of fighting for independence from his neighboring empires, whose emperors are not kind at all, Julong finally found a period of peace and quiet. Now, the emperor took time to sit back and ponder a bit of home improvement, only to realize that his palace was not much bigger than the porta potty of his contractor. Not realizing that his empire also wasn't much larger than the porta potty, he changed his plans and decided to have a new palace built. He knew he couldn't trust anyone but the most skilled of his architects to carry out this task. To find them, he invited them to participate in a contest of wit and skill. To make sure that nobody cheats, the emperor sent his most trustworthy captain of the palace guard as host, Hua Li. He and his assistants are going to be the judges, as the emperor doesn't want to deal with petty little details.
And I am here to present to you the challenges before our capable architects on deciding who will be the best architect to build the Emperor's new palace. So, I think you should sit back and relax for just a moment as we begin our tournament of building. We're going to start out with two teams. We'll call them Team Rat of Taylor and Daxiro, and Team Dragon of Dati and Ariandi. And what they're going to be required to do with you is to demonstrate some simple skills in construction. So let's bring the two wonderful teams out, introduce them, and let them begin their challenge. So Team Dragon, Dati and Ariandi, Team Rat. My moves are not the same. Oh, that says Freestyler. Freestyler. And Daxiro, please come out. So, what we're going to challenge these two teams to do is stack some cubes. Sounds like a relatively easy challenge, and I was thinking it's perhaps too easy of a challenge. So we're going to have them stack them in a quite interesting location. On the nose. So each of the teams will be required to pick one of their contestants as the stacker, and one as the stackee. So I would assume that they're going to stack it on this one's nose, because the beak looks like it might be a little tricky. They will have 3 minutes to stack as many of our bricks as possible on the other's nose and do as well as they can. So, I command the two teams to get ready and begin. Not stacking it on the angled beak. That seems very wise. See 5 here, 4 on this side. Now I miscounted. Ooh, 6 on this side. Ooh, now if they fall, they have to start over. They have 2.5 minutes left. So there's this whole. Ooh, now if they run out of bricks, whoever finishes first wins. So they're both very close. Okay, hold them there for just a second. So, They can't hold, they have to stay on their own. Very close. There you go. Oh, yeah, the last one there. That would be Team Rat, correct? Yes. Oh, we're starting out on this side as well. And working still. Oh, very close. Oh, we have a fall on this side. Let's work from here. And a lot on this side. I'm sorry. So if our score is correct, Team Dragon is presently in the lead, 1 point off of Team Rabbit. And there are 46 seconds remaining on the clock. Team Dragon has a beautiful stack, and they are out of... Oh, they're not. They're on the floor. Oh, now wait a minute. You can't hold them yourself. Oh. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This side now again. I'm going to do that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have a tie. Well, they will be back again with their second round. And that means whoever wins the second round will advance forward. So you may be gone. We are done with you. Be gone. But it is a tie. You have a chance yet to redeem yourself in the eyes of the Emperor. So we have 2 additional teams that will be presenting themselves before you. We will call them Team Goat of Thistle and Nightwind, and Team Rabbit of Revel and Q-Ball. Now, this case, we're going to send them down among you. And I shouldn't stand there. They're going to take that away. We're going to send them down among you because the Emperor is very fond of the animals that live within his kingdom. So, they have to prove to the Emperor that they are capable of handling these beautiful little animals. We will be placing the animals along the aisles of the audience, and they will be required to come out and fish for the animals. Now, they're going to have to work together. We're bringing them poles that will have small hooks on the end, and these hooks will hook onto small rings at the top of the animals. Once they've picked up one animal, that animal has a hook on the bottom. So they'll need to use that hook to pick up the second animal, the next hook to pick up the third animal, and so forth, and so forth. So we should bring out our teams now of Team Rabbit and Team Goat, and give them the hooks at least, to make them ready. We have the hooks here. In fact, I can show you what we're looking at. I can pick one up. So there is our hook. And I'll even hand you one of your hooks. Don't stab me, please. You may only use the hook to collect the rabbits and nothing else. And you must collect as many as possible in 3 minutes. So, and the final thing, of course, is, are you ready to begin? Those look good? All right. 3, 2, 1, begin. you gotta hold the poles by the end. You can't go grab the middle of the pole. Now, if one of the teams collects all of theirs first and gets to the front of the stage, returns up here, whichever team gets back to the stage first is the winner. Oh, they're making a long way long, so Team Rabbit is well on their way to joining this one. We almost got it. I see, what, 3 or 4 of them on there? We are at 155 remaining. They just might get all of them. We're at 1 minute, 40 seconds remaining. Those last ones get harder and harder, but the whole thing's winning. When you get all of them, you should come back to the stage. I see Team Rabbit well on the way. We have 1 minute and 20 seconds. Oh, they almost have it there. No, wait a minute. Oh, so you're sitting with them back upright. If they knock it down, we'll at least upright again. They have everything, so make it back to the stage. Once you're here, it should be the other team then. 56 seconds remaining. You will have the. Oh, wait a minute. Is there one they missed? Good for them for catching it, but we will eventually call it. Okay. There's one more right here. Oh, there's a lot. You lost all of them. 30 seconds remaining, my friends. 30 seconds remaining. 2 more. The other team is right back in the room. They can still catch up. 15 seconds remaining. 15. Oh, it's getting difficult. 5 more. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's make a count of both teams. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on that side. And what do we have? We have Team Goat.
5 on the left.
5 on Team Rabbit, 5 on Team Goat as well. We have 2 ties in the first 2 games, which means again, in the second round, this team will be entirely decided in the second round. Now you better not tie again. That's no good. Wait, we only got 4? It was 5 when they counted, I hear, and the judge said it was 5, so I'm going to trust my trusted assistant, wherever he is, there he is. Now you don't go insulting the audience. Okay, so this next game is particularly cruel. In fact, I think it would have been better suited for some of my predecessors to introduce this game, but, we'll try it nonetheless. So, every palace needs a labyrinth. And what good is someone designing a labyrinth if they can't make their way through one themselves? Now, it would be challenging in this small of a space to actually build a proper labyrinth. So we've given a facsimile of this. What you will see before you here is a cube. There are red lines in this cube, and there are blue lines. There is a single foam piece attached to the blue lines. The blue lines are not taped down at all. So their job is, in as little time as possible, to move the foam ball all the way to this end of the blue line. They can rotate the cube all they wish. They cannot upend the cube. So the bottom must remain the bottom. For this challenge, we'll bring out Team Rooster of McKenna and Yoti, and Team Snake of Annie and Shazo. So come on up here for our architects. You will have 3 minutes to get the phone. Oh, there are 2 phone pieces, I should note, one for each of the 2 players. You'll have 3 minutes to get it to the end. Both of them must be at the end at the same time. So if she were to let go and it falls down, she has to get it back up for this one to count. Are both teams ready at this point? It would appear so. All right, we have audience support for one. Are you ready? Begin. Okay, slowly working through. Remember, you can rotate it if it gets inconvenient. Nicely nodded. Work to get those things through. Remember, no up and down. You're doing a good job of moving it around. We have 2 minutes remaining. They're 1/3 of the way through this challenge. 2 minutes remaining. Be careful, you're about to knock the cube off the table. Move it backward, falls to the floor. You have 1 minute and 45 seconds remaining. 1 minute and 45. Now, what's going to be really bad is one of them loses track of which direction they're going in, brings it back to the bottom. So it's 1.5 minutes, you're halfway through. Almost impossible to tell which team is actually ahead at this point. There are some very subtle marks on the line that we need to figure out which team is ahead, but it is relatively challenging. You have 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining. My humble assistant, you have promised me you can tell which team is ahead if they don't make it. Are you going to make a liar of yourself? That would be bad. You have 53 seconds remaining. 53 seconds. We have a winner. We have a winner. Team Snake. We have a good opponent in this game. Congratulations to Team Snake. So, you have a chance to redeem yourself, of course. There will be a second round. But if you win that, you'll have to also win the tiebreaker. My teams, you may leave the stage at this point so we can make ready for the next game. Now, each of you will notice. Oh, never mind. So, we need to make our new castle. And to make a new castle, we need to build some things. So, for this challenge, we have brought the building blocks of our castle into the audience. You're not throwing them yet. What will happen is each of the contestants will be required to hold one of these bags in their hands, like so, while their partner tosses the building blocks up to them. He who catches the most, he who catches the most in 3 minutes, or who exhausts their supply successfully into the bags in 3 minutes, which, let's face it, that's not going to happen, will be the winner. So, for this challenge, we bring out 2 teams. We will begin with Team Tiger, with Lysander and Chibi Rangvar, and against them will be Team Dog, with Cake and Minstrel. So teams Tiger and Dog, get out. So, one of you will need to remain on the stage with the basket. The other will need to go down into this horde of an audience and collect the building materials. And you will remain back in the audience, and you will toss these materials up to your beautiful partner. So, wait a minute, you're not in the audience yet. You have to throw them from down there. Good. So then, are you ready now with your 1 second, he says. What are you doing? Is someone cheating over here? Yes, that's it. It is being pointed out that the groups are on the opposite side of where the scoreboard says they are. Now, the poor audience would get all confused by that. We can't trust these mere humans. Now, put those building blocks back. No, back in the bag.
Yes, sir. It has already been.
It has been, okay. We have done so much for you, kind audience. And the question is, will I get confused? But are you ready? In that case, you may begin. There's no music this time. You truly... You're 1.5 minutes halfway through. This is weird assets. You have 55 seconds remaining. Honestly, we don't really need to count. Sorry, guys. So, hey, Mitchell, you're definitely ahead, but you still have another round. So don't celebrate too much yet. My other friends, you do have a chance to redeem yourself still, but for now, you must depart and make ready for your second round. Get off the stage. Repercussions. So, the next thing we have to do, our architects will almost assuredly be attending public functions. And when one attends a public function, one must be properly dressed. So, for this next test, we're going to see just how properly dressed our contestants can be. We have a fair number of items of clothing here. Which they must put on. Now, the one that puts on 3 items of clothing successfully worn in at least something resembling a normal fashion shall be the winner. If they make it 3 minutes without a winner, the one who has the most items of clothing on successfully shall be the winner. Oh, we're back to teams 1 and 2, aren't we? So this is the second round of teams 1 and 2. They tied in the first round. That means this round shall declare who goes forward. Should they both have the same number of items of clothing on, me and my assistant will look at them and decide which is better worn. So, are our wonderful contestants of Team Rat and Team Dragon ready to proceed? In that case, you may begin. Congratulations, and I am so sorry for that. But let's be honest, is anyone really that surprised that the dragon beat the rat? Well, as we clean this up, I think we definitely got clothes hamper. You all know what this is. Put our waist clothes in, and it is time to bring out the second pair again for their next contest. But we have to watch these guys strip first. Oh, stripping music coming up? We didn't even think of that one. So, for the next event, we call this one Double Zodiac. This is a test of memory. Our architects have to know, be ready to make the right decisions. Know what's in the stars for them. So, they must be able to look towards the Zodiac and see those decisions. Our assistants are putting up a cloth banner. We will hang on this banner a large number of Zodiac symbols. They will be required to point to two of the symbols. My helper will turn those symbols over so we can see which symbols they are. If at any point they turn over the same two symbols, they will be taken down. The group with the most symbols in their pile in 3 minutes shall win. Now, we shall be very careful and not allow them to play. We'll give them, say, 10 seconds or so to turn over a symbol. If they can't, if they're ahead, they can't just sit there and go, That would be wrong. Our contestants again in this one is another tied group with Team Rabbit and Team Goat. You may begin your progress on the stage while they hang our Zodiac signs. Please note there are 2 levels, an upper and a lower level. Don't forget the lower level. Take just a few more moments to hang all of these mysterious symbols of the Zodiac. Eventually we will be ready. That was pitiful. That was... Okay. The symbols all been set. He's stealing our tables. Not quite sure what they're doing with that one other than blocking their ability to turn signs over. And momentarily, we will be ready. Are you ready, my nobles? So, since it's tied, we will say Team Rabbit will go first for no particular reason. So, Team Rabbit, you may begin. Go forward, pick 2 symbols. That one would be rabbit, official, and dog. No, you want to pick 2, rabbit and dog. Okay, the other team, go forward, find 2 matching symbols. Those are for you. That would be sheep and dragon. You have yet to see a pair, sheep and dragon. First team, go back, you have to pick. Dog and snake. No match. Again, no pairs. That one would be tiger. You have yet to see 2 of anything. And sheep, we continue the trend of showing a new symbol each time. Someone will eventually get a match, I am certain. Sheep, I assault sheep, I believe that is going to be the first match. Team Rabbit. Team Goat, you see to find another match. Okay, that would be ox. And both of you be careful to turn over as you run. I didn't see what the far one was. Oops, that's going to come now. I believe it's yours, right? That would be, I can't see. Horse and boar. Okay, next please. Horse, I see you putting the same one. And he likes that one horse for some reason. And he has it. We are now tied with 1 minute remaining. He has it down, which would be dog. I think we've already seen a dog somewhere. Where would we see a dog? That would be, I can see, rabbit. That is not a match. They like that one. I seem to that sounds like a good choice too. Oh, ox. There was an ox somewhere. Where was the ox? We have the ox. We have 53 sellers. So that's good. That one take your choice. Who likes that one? That would be Monkey. And that would be Tiger. That is not a match. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. We have a winner. Team Goat has won the victory in this match. So, congratulations, Team Goat. You will be moving forward. Oh, very good stuff. So, for the next one, you may depart the stage because you will be back. This one I like. The evil side of me, who you met in previous years, definitely likes this one. Have you ever heard of an egg run? An egg run is where you take a spoon and you carry an egg from one place to the other. We have eggs, I promise you. They're not hard-boiled. And you must get them to the other side of the room. Now, I'm going to have to look at my assistant and ask for a reminder. Will they go in the audience or the here? I forgot. They will go in the audience. So, they will go down to opposite sides at the front of the stage. He doesn't know. Oh, yes. Ah, yes, thank you for reminding me. So, they will go back down the aisle, through the middle aisle, exchange roughly in the middle to the other team partner, and then come back forward. The most eggs that survive unbroken to meet the front of the room will indicate the winner. Now, we're going to bring the teams out of Rooster and Snake again. Snake, in this case, is up by 1 game, so they have it. But it can become a tie very easily. So, for each team, one member will take one side, one will take the other, and they will be given an egg and be given a challenge. So, you may step down into the audience. Again, one member of each team on each side. My final assistant? Yes, down into the audience. Move carrying an egg. Yes, both members go down in the audience. One member on each side. So, and you will go on the opposite side. To you, there. Yes. Oh. Okay, so it's front to back. I understand. Okay, in that case, go to the same side. I am most sorry. My assessment. Huh. Yes. Over there. Okay. And you will exchange eggs. We did that. So, now, did we already drop an egg? Did you already? No, we dropped his papers. His papers are fine. So one of you should go to the back of the room. Yes. Do you have another assistant to hand the other one the eggs? Is there another assistant to hand them the eggs? We need another assistant. Don't ask me to look at these eggs. Yes. So you will need to pick the egg up yourself, put them in the spoon, and exchange them, bring them back. The most unbroken eggs wins. Are you both ready? You may finally begin. What are you doing? What are you doing with that? And my assistant apparently used assistance in turning on his microphone. Huh. So we have the only eggs surrounded. Oh, I see one of them. Okay. We have 2 versus 2. And I don't think we have a single broken egg yet. We have 2 minutes at 2 versus 2. Okay, we have 3 versus 3. This is here enough to be a tie, and it's here enough to be a very unique game. One minute, 4 seconds remaining. We have 1 is continuing. We have 1.5 minutes. We're almost completed. Uh-oh, he's coming back empty. That's not a good sign. Five to 4. It's with only 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining. Are they out of eggs? You're out of eggs. Well, they're out of eggs. I believe that means this is over. Now, my sister, I want you to come here and do me a favor. Yes, we have completed, yes. We have a winner. Not only do we have a winner, they won before, so you will be progressing forward. Now, my assistant, I want you to come here and do me a favor. Hand me an egg. Hand me an egg. Or David, hand me an egg. Now, some of you probably don't believe these are real eggs, do you? You'll look at it at some point and see what was in it. Congratulations! Team Snake, I believe it was, they've already taken your name down. With progressing to the next round. We have one final round for you. And that would be... yes. So, as the Emperor finishes his dinner, there will be parades around the palace grounds. And when there are parades around the palace grounds, there have to be flagpoles. Now, when you have flagpoles, they need to be sitting straight up and down. These are not. So their job shall be to take these small wooden dowels, place them around the base of the flagpole, and get the flagpole standing directly up and down. For this challenge, we shall bring Team Dog and Team Tiger back out onto the stage, where Team Dog of Cake and Mistral is up by 1. So if you guys are better than it's going to be a problem. Okay, we have both teams out. You know the rules, you know what you need to do. Now wait a minute, put them back down. Put them back down. Very good. I believe they also have set themselves up. No, it's the correct side of this board now. So, are you ready to begin? Then you may begin. is doing. I'm not quite sure why he's doing it without actually setting any up first. I think they're trying for upset. They're arranging their dowels. No, wait a minute. None of that. None of that. No pounding it in. Now, I'll give you a hint. If you do it, it makes it worse. Because if you don't pound it just right. I see one. What do we have over here? Ooh, we've got a good run over here. I think we may have an upset here. Ooh. We've got two. Uh-oh! Look at that cake. It fell down. You have 1 minute 46 seconds remaining. This is a tricky one. I'm not sure I could do this. Well, I'm pretty sure I couldn't do this. Oh, he's trying a different. See, now there's a difference in technique here. They're using 4 dowels at a time to generate a little square. They're using 3 to generate a triangle. Whoops, he had it. Almost. We have 1 minute and 15 seconds left. And I think we have one. And furthermore, that makes them the winner of both games. So, my canine friends, you shall advance. Now, how long did you rehearse that? You didn't rehearse that at all. So, I think, you're still on stage. Okay, you now lose. So after such a job, oh, it's gone. I see.
Now that the lesser skilled subjects have been dealt with, the Emperor has called for a short break to regenerate the strength in his victorious competitors and to instill punishment on the losers. Also, the Emperor, who has seen many springs already, has to visit the little throne room. Don't run off, the games will continue in a few minutes. In the upcoming round, the remaining contestants will have to prove to the Emperor that they can work on the construction site just as well as they were in organizing the formalities. The Emperor is on his way back. His Royal Highness is just now taking the final 3 steps to his throne again. And the final 2 steps. He's almost made it. There we go. The Emperor's returned and commands for the games to continue this instant. Where is Captain Kuali?
Yes, this instant, sir. Okay. So, we have our next game. Now, as I was saying before, oftentimes construction leaves a mess. So it is very important that our teams know how to clean up such a mess. We're going to bring 2 of our teams back out. You're going to have to put on the scoreboard because I don't have it written on the card now. To clean up the palace. What their job is going to be is going to take some debris we're going to leave amongst you all, sweep it forward, sweep it across. They'll cross each other in the center, and then sweep it back. So they will begin in the corners, move in, across, down, and back. So, we're going to bring 2 of our teams back that were victorious in the first round and make them try the second round. I don't know what that means. Okay, I'm reading. Have to change order of games. Games. Yes. Who sold the brooms? You must go find who stole the brooms. So, we're going to do... Oh, that's an interesting idea. They have to change brooms in the middle of the room. So, let's bring out our teams, Goat and Dragon, who will go to the corners. And what will happen is, in the middle of the rooms, the members of the teams will exchange the broom as well as the items. So, let's bring out teams Goat and Dragon. Any day now, please. There, okay, now. Why don't you tell me now? Yes. Yes. I believe that's what I said. Or at least that's what I inferred. So, our team's Goat and Dragon out here. Any day now, please. Come on, teams Goat and Dragon. My humble assistant will see you down to your locations. Very good. There come 2 of the 4 brooms. Okay. Have my assistant gotten the contestants in place? Now I have a sign here. What does the sign say? Go. No, I'm not gonna proclaim one team over the other. Bribing me would be entirely inappropriate. Bribing me would be entirely inappropriate. That's not much of a bribe. Let's try the other team. Bribing me would be entirely. So are the teams in place now, my assistant?
Center team is ready.
Okay, if the teams are ready, I shall command you to begin.
Sorry, sir. We have to do a timeout here. Now the second room wasn't in place either. Stop grooming. Stop grooming.
I shall be out in 1 second. Your host, Slate.
Now, where did the second stagehand go and take the broom? It's not that much of a deal.
Okay, we have a slight problem. I admit I have to briefly vacate my position. I must be so sorry. So, my assistant, tell me what happened while I was gone. I can't leave this place for a second, can I? So then, I think you might be having a problem. Yes. So what are we doing? I'm as clueless as you are at this point. Let's go for it, shall we? So are we ready to go, sir? Wow, that's a bad idea. I followed that just in time, I think.
Well, sir, the teams appear to be ready this time.
Are you sure?
Both starting players have a broom and 3 colored objects.
In that case, now you may begin. Oh, no, wait a minute. Okay. He's moving really quick to the audience there. He's making quite progress. This is where it's going to get interesting. Right in the middle. Oh, you can do this. I see one piece of garbage. Oh, there comes the broom. They're going around. There's a little bit more. Blue seems to be doing one at a time, don't they? That's an interesting technique. Not sure it's all I would say. We have 2 minutes remaining. Blue has one item across. I can't see where red is. Dragon, I believe, or Team Goat?
Team Dragon.
Team Dragon, he says, has proven victorious in this game. And I shall take the words of my humble assistant in this case. So, congratulations, Team Dragon, but you will need to face us again. This is but round 1. The next game is one that I need to look up, called the Emperor's New Hangout. We have a cleaned construction estate set at this time, but we have to build stuff. You're right, apparently. So at this time, we need to start constructing things. We need to actually build the new facility. What we're going to do is give each of the teams a set of blocks, which they will then use to build a figure. This board will contain the figure that they will have to build. The one that can build it the quickest wins. So, the other thing of import in this is that there will be symbols on the figure to be built. And there will be symbols on the blocks which they will be building facing you. They must line up the symbols that are on the figure with what goes on the table. So, with no further ado, let us bring out Team Dog and Team Snake who will be competing in this game. Now, I will add, how about if there are more symbols on these blocks than there will be on the board? That is fine. Symbols that aren't, blocks which are empty on the board tend to contain symbols down here. But if there's a symbol on the board, it must be repeated down here. So, there's 3 minutes on the clock. Are both of you ready? Okay. We're going to be placing, don't look, placing the figures they have to build on this board. Okay, are you ready? You may begin. So we have 3 minutes to construct these figures. That's 3 of 5 game. I suppose I should have told you that before. We have 1 victor here. So, the first 3 points. Now, did I get that right? Did our Team Snake and Foul? The board says Team Dog beat them, so I assume I misspelled that. The board says Team Dog beat them? Okay. In that case, it is time for the next pattern. Contestants face away from the board. Yes, you can reset your blocks. Now wait a minute, that's not shown on the screen because they can look at the screen too. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I have to block the screen. There we go. Now they can't see the screen. Okay, are you ready to begin? You may begin. So now 1-1 with 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. So, set your blocks back into a static position, look away from the board. While we change the board again, don't look back, don't look back. Are we ready behind me? We're almost ready. Yes. Okay, are you ready? You may begin. 2 minutes remaining. It's 1-1. We have an even tie. That was going to use the team. Yes, now we have on the top. Very good. Now they're going to go, I think they've used the block they need. There we go. Getting close. 2 sides getting close. That was a tough one. And those very close on the dogs over there. They're definitely getting closer. From here.
I will have the person counted and executed.
Good for you.
Anyway, Team Dog was first.
Team Dog who's first would give you the closest thing possible, I guess. Okay, Team Dog, you're 1 point away from winning this round. So everybody look away. You too. Doggies look away. Now, let me see what we got here. Okay, I'm looking at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's more than 8 out there. There's heads are going to roll. All right, you got it. Without wait a minute, hold on. You got it. Turn. Are you ready? Teams are ready. You may begin. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's the right number of blocks at least. This is always a plus. They have 47 seconds to complete this task. 47 seconds remain. It is relatively challenging building task. Or do we? Yes, we do. So, we have one more round, and you have 29 seconds to complete it. Whichever wins this will get it. No, sit turn. Turn back around. Get ready. Is the board ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not going to trust them anymore. Are the teams ready? You may begin. 20 seconds remains on the clock. 20 seconds remains on the clock. It's going to be technical here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, do they have? No, you can't place them now. So, we alas leave this round with a tie. But guess what? Both of you will be coming back for a second round. And that round will decide the winner. So, this idea of some construction. But now we need to decorate the construction. For this, we're going to do something somewhat similar to what we just saw. We're going to place patterns on the boards again. There'll be 2 boards out this time. Yes, I believe. There will be 2 boards out, and there will be a pattern. There will then be various cards which they need to fill into the pattern to complete it. So, once we see the patterns, they'll be able to put the cards in, and again, we will have a timed best of match. So, let's bring out Team Goat and Team Dragon for this round of competition. So, you're setting up the additional sets of boards? Yes. Yes. They're having to work on the construction of the walls that have been set. Slowly we shall build out the walls, be tiled in these beautiful mosaics. It's Team Goat and Team Dragon. So Team Goat, are you going to win this? What about Team do you think? Who's going to win? I think Goat seems more enthused. I think you guys are the eyeball over enthusiasm. That didn't sound like a goat. That really didn't get there. You're getting there. You're getting there, that's for certain. Now, very shortly, you're going to be given a pattern. And you're going to be given the tiles to place on them. So the audience can see, I'm going to pick up one of these tiles. This is the sort of tiles they're going to be placing up there with magnets on the back to make the patterns. They're not going to get to see the patterns until the clock starts, at which point they will be given a moment of notice to see what's going on. So we will be asking our fine contestants to step back as they place the patterns up, so that they don't have any advance warning of what they're getting themselves into. Are you about ready, people? Now, here's the interesting thing about this. There's about 20 tiles down there. They're only going to give them the ones that are needed to fill the pattern. Do we want to take odds that the assistants are not going to screw this one up? What do you think? Are you going to screw this one up? He's too busy to even think about this. I mean, look at put the sky cam up again. Look at this on the corner here. You can't see what I'm pointing at on that monitor. Look at that on the corner here. The number of tiles he has. You can't even see that. Ooh, I think we see the first tiles of the first puzzle. So, my contestants, step behind the board, please, on both sides. Behind the board, so you can't see what he's going to put up. Yeah. That would be in front of the board. Step behind the board. Now, step behind the board. Yeah. Now, wait a minute. Remember what I said about bribes? And you gave me that sketchbook? That's not a good bribe. Why am I hiding behind the board when no one can see me? Oh, that's great. It's keeping her behind the board now. Wait a minute, what about him?
We are ready, Master.
Are the signs on the boards?
Yes.
Oh, good. In that case, both teams, you may begin. 2 minutes and 57 seconds, just starting. They have to put patterns to make these shapes. Let's see how hard this is going to be. That would be a completion on this side. Congratulations, Team Goat. You got that already. This will be a best 4 of 7 match, by the way. 4 of 7. So, contestants behind the boards again, so we can change out the patterns. This will take a moment for us to put the new patterns up. Actually, given how long it's taking them to change pattern, let's make this 3 of 5. I don't want to drag this out longer than we have to. So this will be a 3 of 5 game again. Behind the boards, please. Okay, are we ready to change the patterns? Okay, they left their things up. You see, you're slowing us down. You're making us late. That's all your fault. When we're late, it's your fault. Now, we're almost ready. Let's see how hard this pattern is going to be. See, I can see it from right there. Oh! That's not the hardest one. I've seen all of them. There's one that's even better than that. Are we ready? Are the tiles up? Are the right tiles up? In that case, teams, you may begin. We only took 15 seconds on the previous. We're going to do 3 of 5. This one's a bit more tricky. Although not very, apparently. I believe this team beat them, but boy, it was close. I'm not not sure. I could see this one do it before they started cheering. We had... Do we have any ability to look at this on the video? What? Left team wins, so we are tied. So that would be, I was correct. Team Dragon took that one. We are now tied 1-on-1. This is a best of 5. We're changing out the boards again. I probably don't need this card anymore. I'm just not throwing those good off. We are changing out the board. Put on one of those fun ones. I like some of the fun ones. You know, those are just free. Put up a 4 or a 5. So, we are Goat versus Dragon, 1-1, with another interesting shape. How many boards are out here? That still looks like only 3 boards out. That's boring. We need a more complex one. But, are both boards ready? In that case, both teams may begin. I thought this was going to be a much harder game than it was. I was concerned about this one when they showed it to me. And it looks actually easier than I imagined it to be. Come on, you can do it. Do we have it here? No, I heard voices, but I wasn't sure. I believe again, Team Dragon, correct? Very good. We are now 1-2. Team Goat, this is your last chance. If you lose on this one, you lose this round. Well, you do have another round coming up. Oh no, you don't have another round coming up. If you lose this one, you lose. So, our humble assistants will again change up the boards. You have 1 minute and 54 seconds to complete the next one. And I hope they put up something hard this time. You will put up something hard for us, right? He says yes. Those were way too easy. We've done 3 rounds in just over a minute. Oh yeah, Are we ready? Almost. Okay, that one's not ready. Let's see it. Okay, I see 4 pieces on the table this time. That's at least a little bit better. Although he's still getting the pieces pulled for this one. Yeah, make sure you get the right ones out there. Because that would be embarrassing for you, wouldn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like the same pieces on both sides. Teams, are you ready? You may begin. During rehearsal, when he made me practice this, he gave me the wrong pieces. And then couldn't understand why I could never get the shape. I don't like my assistant. Getting close. Let's see what we got. Uh-oh, they dropped the piece. That's tough for the balls, is it not? We have it on the sides and which I believe makes our 3 of 5 and means Team Dragon, you will go to the finals. Team Goat, I think dragons eat goats. Don't you? Don't you think that would be a good finish for Team Goat? Of course. Team Dragon, Team Goat, you may be... No, wait a minute. If you offend me, you offend the Emperor. Think about that. So then... something there. But the next game is called Feed the Dragon. Now, for Feed the Dragon, you're finally going to need to use, I don't know why I picked this card up, I know this game. You're finally going to need, I'm sure I got the right one. Yes, you're finally going to need to use those things below your chair. And we're going to bring 2 dragons out here. And the audience, the contestants will be wandering through the audience with their dragons. And you, our fine participants, have to feed them. Now, you'll notice that there is a blue team, and that there is a red team. I'm sorry, there is a red team and there is a yellow team. If you have a red dragon snack, it can only go to the red dragon. If you have a yellow dragon snack, it can only go to the yellow dragon. But if you have a blue dragon snack, either can eat it. So, we will now bring out Teams Dog and Team Snake to feed the dragon. Now, these wonderful teams were tied coming into this. So, whoever wins this, wins. Whoever gets the most food into their dragon, wins. Now, they haven't seen the dragons yet. So let's show, well, no, we'll just leave it as a surprise as to what our dragons look like. But are our teams ready to take your dragons into your hand and go into our fine audience and feed your dragons? Remember, if you have a red one, it goes into a red dragon only, yellow into yellow dragon only, blue into either. Teams, you may begin. Okay. You got the blue ones are the key to this. Because there where you have to really understand the mindset. Because if you like a team, give them a blue one. You have 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. Although we will, of course, end this if the dragons run out of food. Now, if you can throw it into the mouth of the dragon, I'll be damn impressed. We're down to 2 minutes and 12. 2 minutes and 12 seconds. I see a lot of red things over here in the center of the room. How do those get all the way in the back? People go get them and carry them back or something? We have 1 minute and 45 seconds. 1 minute and 45 seconds remaining. The yellows are literally flying at the yellow dragon. We have 1.5 minutes. We're halfway through because they're mobbing the yellow dragon now. The yellow dragon has been mobbed. Now, how does this, if they kill the dragon, what happens? If they overfeed it by mobbing it.
If the dragon burns, it's
Okay. There's 1 minute and 10 seconds left. That's a pretty damn full dragon. And he's running tail first. That's a sign of the dragon that's not feeling well. There's a minute left in this game. 1 minute remaining. You're at 50 seconds. 50 seconds. Okay. Whoa, wait a minute. We lost half of the dragon there in red. The dragon has been detailed. There are 50 seconds left. You guys got to fight over the blue ones. That's the key to this game, guys. The blue ones. 24 seconds. They're wearing the dragon. I'm not sure what that's worth. There's 15 seconds remaining in the game. seconds remaining. I just saw flying feet again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, we will take a moment to count the food in the dragons. Now, wait a minute, hold on a second. You realize if he doesn't count them, they don't count. So you might want to be a little careful with spilling your food. If the dragon vomits all over him, he might not have a very accurate count. So, we're gonna disgorge the dragon first. And you guys may disgorge your dragon here on this side. You don't want to get near this though. The dragons, yeah, that's okay.
We will have to make the dragons regurgitate their food.
Yes, I was just talking about that. How do you get these assistants? I mean, so there's a good number of blue in here. Now that's a good sign because, like I said, the yellows and the reds were evenly balanced. It's the blues that you really. What on earth happened to this one? What might have happened to that? I don't think... What are you doing? Oh, wait a minute. No, that doesn't what that thing was flying through the room at first. Okay. So what do we have? You're still counting me this side, aren't you? I hate to say it, but I kind of think I know who won. But we have to do the count first. What is the count? What is the count? We have a count of 89 on the yellow team. Now we're counting the red team. Now, if I'm looking at the scoreboard correctly, we had a tie on the previous round of this. So this one will decide it. Be careful when you touch that one that's right there. Yeah, that one. Yeah. That's no good. What is the number? Wait, but you have to tell him first that he tells me? 75. I was right. So, Team Dog? You do that very well. We will see you in the final round. Now, do you think you're going to get to do that again? You do, huh? For the right bribe, maybe you can. Oh. Did you kill her? That's my job. Okay. So then, it is time to move forward to the final rounds. As we kick these people off of the stage, perhaps literally so. Congratulations, my winners. Congratulations to my of this again. We'll be back.
Finally, after a long and tedious process, we have almost found out who will be worthy enough to take on the even more tedious task of designing and building the Emperor's new palace. But alas, the wise Emperor has to leave for a few minutes and will be back in a nick of time. Don't go far, the guards can sniff you out quite easily. was on his way back to the arena when his secret agents informed him of a planned invasion from Shuobao, a neighboring kingdom. He has decided to change the final assignment to the teams. They have to build a wall to protect the Emperor against the Shuobaoian forces. Now where did Captain Hua Li head off to this time?
It is time to end this battle. So, we have 2 teams remaining from our original set. We have Team Dog of Cake and Minstrel, and Team Snake and Team Dragon of Dati and Ariane. Did they bribe you? Did they bribe? Wait a minute. Are you bribing the audience now? I'll tell you what, the audience doesn't matter anymore. Oh wait, did I say that? Oh, what are you thinking? Team Goat is out of the game! You realize if you cheer for them, you might not be on stage anymore. In fact, I think you should go kick Team Goat. No. Get off. Off. This is mine now. We're going to give it to the thing. See, that's what it's worth. I'm not even going to take it out. I'm going to make my humble system take it out. Just make that go away. Wait a minute. Didn't I just tell you to make that go away? Make that go away. That board there. Make it go away. God, how do you find good assistance in this? Let's get on to the game. Before you will see planks. Can the Skycam see our planks? Skycam? Yeah, no, that's not the Skycam. And the Skycam cannot see the planks. Oh well. There are 2 planks, you'll have to take my word for it, on either side of this board. There are a lot of little blocks in the center, and for some reason in her hand. Oh, there was one over there. Yeah, let's get it back in the center. Close enough. Their job is to build a wall from here to here, or as best they can do. The wall must be continuous. In other words, a block here and a block here. That is not a wall. Those are sticks. They have to build a wall across the planks. And once they did that, well, then the real fun will begin. So, in 3 minutes, your job is to build as sturdy of a wall as you can from one side to the other. Oh, that's right. This is only half of the time because we have something else to do. So in 90 seconds, you have to build that wall as best you can. And I'm going to get back. There's going to be a lot of money. So, my contestants, are you ready to begin? Then you may do so now. Now, scattering the blocks everywhere, I'm not quite sure what that accomplished, but I'm sure it accomplished something. You've got a good looking wall on Team Carl's side. Ooh, I better be careful while I'm walking past. Okay, let's go there back into it now. very good-looking walls. But that's not going to decide who won. Instead, the walls have to defend against attack. So, each team will move before the other team's wall, down in the audience, and get to bomb the wall. Whichever wall survives the most number of bombs wins. You'll have at most 12 attacks, at which case the one with the most blocks standing wins. So, teams, you may move down into the audience against your opponent's wall. My humble assistant will hand you your weapons of mass destruction. And the most blocks standing after 12 assaults shall win. Smooth. And I'm going to sit right here in the middle where I'm least likely to get attacked. And if you throw balls at me, you've just given your opponent free points. So my humble assistant, what's there a spotlight on? Oh, I see. We're gonna blind them too. That's always a good plus when they're throwing hard objects. So then, are the balls in place? Did I say that?
Yes.
Yes, I did. Are the balls in place? Are the teams ready? Well then, you have 12 throws each. Begin throwing. 1, 2, 3, 5. The humble assistants that are right in the line of fire, of course, have to get the balls back down to them. That's 3 each, and everything is standing. Oh boy, that's some damage. Both sides. So that's, I believe, 6 each, correct? That's 9 each, correct? Sounds like it. When you go to the fire, never run. So that was 12 balls. I don't really think we need to count this. Do you think we need to go through and do a count? I think we can fairly safely say our 2 canines down here, oh, they're right here, because they were throwing the weapons, remember? And that's Team Dog, because it's Cake initial, I know them. See, that's Cake. I don't know him as well. But, nonetheless, you have won. Now, we love you, So then,
Gene Wong is pleased to see that his subjects are capable enough to meet all of his expectations. And while there can be only one winning team, he has in his unlimited wisdom and unmatched generosity decided not
we had for the show? Did anybody read the little flyers we had for the show? Wow. There was a note in the flyers for the show that said, at the end of the show, prices will be handed out to the winners. So, if you wish to buy this team, they're $1 or €1.23. It does say dollar. Why does it say dollar? And if you wish to buy this team, they're $9.99. I strongly suspect that was a typographical error. If we're not actually going to set prices on the teams, as interesting as it is. Instead, we're going to give prizes to the team, which, the assistant is so obviously trying to hide. They just destroyed their price. Which are good?
That price wasn't right, obviously.
I see. Am I holding the prices for first or second place?
These are the prices, the trophies for first place.
Well then, Mr. Cake, you have something which appears to be a lot of chocolate. And I don't see Mistral, so I'll just take this one. In fact, here it is. Oh, if you don't want it, I'll be glad to take it off your hands. Wait a minute. This is chocolate. You're a dog. Okay? You're a dog too. You can keep the trophy full of chocolate. Congratulations. There's more chocolate. I think dragons are a lot of chocolate, aren't they? Our 2 second place winners shall also receive a chocolate before a dog. And at that note, I believe we have completed the trials. So my humble assistant who just walked off stage is going to arrange a curtain call for all of our contestants, and I encourage every one of you to give them all a round of applause as he goes through the contestants, the people that put this on, and everyone else involved.
Freestyler and Daily Sierra. For Team Gold, Thistle and Nightwind. For Team Rabbit, Ravel and Cubone. For Team Snake, Annie and Shazone. For Team Rooster, Makina and Yoti Coyote. For Team Dog, Cake and Minstrel. For Team Tiger, Lysander and Chibi Rampart. We also thank our host, Aito, the Fursuit handler, props builder and game designer was Furban. Come on in. Our stage manager, game designer and props builder was Cazador. Out here. Live scoreboard video cues were done by Isegrim. He's back there. Oh, now he's up front. Okay. So, audio was done by Yarik. Mahfoud did our lighting. The intro videos and flyers featured artwork from Yamagu. The nice music that is playing now during the videos was done by Lux. The announcer voice was provided by Max Group. The music selection for the in-game music was done by Kim Tagu. The prizes were donated by Casador, Flutterby, and Furban. And we have Wolf, where is she? As our resident backstage crew. Sorry?
And also an same Tagesreise, happy backstage, gehört all the students.
Helping me out during the event. Get out.
We also have a few backstage helpers who I did not get the name yet, sorry. So please come out here. Come on stage. So, this leaves me only to say thank you for participating in our little games. My name is Adkelar, and I did the intro video work, played the referee, and built some props. So, thank you.